Look, I believe in XRP. I believe that we're going to see much higher prices than a lot of people think. And whether you're tired of me coming on here and talking about different analysts, different experts, or my opinion and where things are going, it doesn't defeat the fact that this is going to be wildly successful and already has been wildly successful for a lot of people. It's just as you have the markets that are thriving, as you have something that's going up, the reason why it's going up is not just because of the people that are already invested into it or already holding it. It's about the new people that are buying it, the new people that are seeing opportunities, the new reason to own that position. And that's where you get a lot of the hate. People that decided to buy at $2 or decided to buy at $3. Yeah, it's not a bad idea to do that, but just know you're going to go through some struggles before you decide or before it ends up going through a major amount of success. Just like we went through struggles for multiple years. I don't think you'll have as much of a time, as long as a time frame struggling as most of us went through. The people that invested, at $1, at 90 cents, at 80 cents, at 50 cents, at 40 cents, right? You see those low levels and you see the struggle for many, many years that we've had this, right? Every time we had any type of positivity, anytime we had, it comes up as a win, right? We had major positivity where XRP is labeled as not a security, right, for retail sales, but then the institutional side of it suffers. You still see some success, but then they go, oh, we're going to appeal that. The struggles that we dealt with were real. And now we have light at the end of the tunnel. It's just whenever that's going to take place, whenever that's going to run, we'll see that happen right before our eyes, and we'll see it happen sometime soon. Like, it's not to where the SEC is going to continue to attack it, because that's over. So the struggles that you're going through are short term. And I understand how many people could be upset about many predictions that are out there. But the reason why all these predictions are out there is because we're trying to tell you this is going to be more successful than so many people think. I understand how you can't possibly see a $1 trillion, $2 trillion, $3 trillion market cap for XRP. But the people that have been in long term, that have studied this, that have understood this, that have heard from experts and analysts and traditionalists and many people that were either for crypto or weren't for crypto, right? They're studying this, they understand this, and we see all the things that they're saying as well as the stuff that we're researching, and we see the potential to where it's going. So that's why in this video I'm taking you through another analyst that believes we're going to have a likely breakout for XRP, because I believe we're going to see major success. So again, if you're tired of me coming on here and talking about how this can get to $12, how it can get to 20, 30, 40, 100, even the levels above that, then maybe this channel isn't for you, and maybe you should go ahead and subscribe to somebody else that talks about the things that you love to hear, right? If you have XRP, and it's always great to have this in the back of your mind to understand that these possibilities do exist. So before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below for Patreon, for Twitter. Those links are at the top of the description. But also, at the very top of the description, I have a link for BTCC where you can sign up and get a 10% deposit bonus when you use my link. You'll get extra bonuses up to $10,055, 40% lower trading fees, and you can trade all the way up to a 500x leverage. Even on XRP, you can do that. Now, I don't ever recommend it because it is very, very risky, but I do recommend that you research how to leverage trade, and if you find an opportunity to do so, then you can do that 500x leverage. But make sure that you protect yourself, because it can easily go against you and you can easily lose a lot of money. So I want to make sure that you have the best chance to make a ton of money, and also protecting what you have in your total account. So feel free to check out that link. It's at the top of the description. But XRP currently stands at $2.07. It is slightly down on the day. We're seeing $2 billion worth of volume, down 26% over the last 24 hours. Volume to market cap ratio is showing about 1.6%. 1.7% if you're going to round up, which is not great, right? Seeing a volume to market cap ratio of that low of a percentage doesn't really show the amount of popularity that it does have, but we're in a period to where things are kind of at a little bit of a standstill. It's not absolutely collapsing. It's not rising to ridiculous levels. It's kind of in the middle, and it's ready for a breakout, kind of that consolidation point, which is always good. Consolidation leads to more aggressive, positive movement, in my opinion, and what I've seen. Market cap, $121 billion market cap with 58.3 billion coins in supply. Now, I brought your attention like where I believe that this is going, right? I have different levels within my profit taking strategy to where I see it at a level of $5, a level of $10, a level of 20, a level of 30, 40, 50, all the way up to 100, right? Which will be trillions of dollars worth of a market cap. And if, again, I don't want to break down everything, but if you understand what XRP is going to be, you can see that those things are going to happen. But timelines, right? I don't necessarily fall into those exact timelines because no one truly knows what's happening in crypto 100%. So no analyst can 100% break these things down because it is a speculative market. But analysts try to do it. So we're going to go through this, which XRP breakout still likely this April. Analyst says $12 plus in play. So as you see here, they're saying that we could still likely have a breakout at the end of May, or after tax season, we could start to see some major upticks here. So the breakout's possible from the peak. XRP has followed a sharp three-legged ABC pullback drawn in gold, which we will look at there. Let me scroll down here. Leg A bottomed in February at $1.77. Leg B retraced to the 2.236 level at $2.99. Before the current slide in leg C, which has thus far defended 0.618 retracement at $1.54. Below lies a thick liquidity pocket between the 0.62 and 0.65 retracements. $1.55 to $1.45 highlighted in a green box on the chart. So what they're saying is that as we go down here, I want to talk about where that breakdown is, right? They argue that the macro structure remains intact. The decline of the past 4 months is wave 2 inside a much larger 5-wave advance. We are very close to the ending this correction, whether the low is already in or we need more support test. I still believe we're about to enter macro wave 3. She notes under classical Elliott guidelines, one wave of every impulse must extend, and the analyst expects that roll to fall to wave 3. Using Fibonacci expansion from the wave 1 impulse, the vertical pulse projection, she derives upside objectives at the 1.618 and 2.62 and 3.62 extensions, $6.50, $9.50, and then $12+ respectively. So going through this, like, obviously, right? Yes, you can break all this stuff down. You can break everything down. And I love technical analysis. I love breaking stuff down in the stock market. I've noticed that a lot of things that I've looked into in the crypto market, they hold up to an extent, but more of the long-term ones, you can't fully predict the outcome because a lot of it is unknown. You know what I mean? A lot of it is undiscovered. It's like going out into the ocean and believing that you know where land is just based on the fact that you've seen this before. You know what I mean? I understand the patterns. I understand following Fibonacci retracements. I understand following a lot of technical analysis across the board. But what you have to do is take everything with a grain of salt. So while you believe that we're going to get to these levels of potentially getting to a $6.50 level, a $9.50 level, a $12 plus level, that's all in due time, and it's also all unexplored. You know what I mean? So above whatever we've already explored, which is $3.40, a lot of it is unknown, which means that we don't necessarily exactly know where things are going, but the long term may dictate a better picture. Usually when you zoom out, it has a little bit of a better picture of where things can go, where the direction can go, but not necessarily where the end price goal can go. Does that make sense? So love hearing it, love seeing it, love reading it. It may be a little bit complicated for a lot of people to fully understand and comprehend, but just know that when you fully break these things down like this and have your potential levels that it does get to, take all of those with a grain of salt. Because again, it's all unexplored, it's all uncharted territory, which we need to make sure that we put into our analysis and to our exit plans. But when I go into things, when I go into XRP and understand the process of where things are going, it's more on a basis of what's to be explored on the use case side, what's to be explored on the government side, what's to be explored on just the FOMO side as well. How many people haven't explored crypto? All of those things also factor into what that outcome can be. But again, backing up can show you the bigger picture and the bigger direction, but not necessarily exactly where it's going to get to. Breakouts, we tend to see those above a lot of the support and resistance levels, especially those larger resistance levels of $3.40. But what I'm looking at is I'm looking at that level. I'm also looking at the different things that are happening in the world today to kind of dictate exactly what direction that is going. And then looking into more of the detail to see what length of time it will be in that direction. Does that make sense? So anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about it getting to $12. If it does, fantastic. If it does short term, then fantastic. If we see it to a level of $12 in April, which would literally be 12 days or so, fantastic. But I'm not going to hold my breath to say that, that's where things are going to be. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check out some of the links down below. Also, check out the link for BTCC down below if you guys are interested. But I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.